Central Command today issued a hit list of the most wanted men in Iraq. The list comes in the form of a deck of 55 cards.
On the 11th of April 2003, presented a deck of cards that had the faces of the senior-most Iraqi leadership.
The key list has 55 individuals who may be pursued, killed, or captured. And the list does not exclude leaders who may have already been killed or captured.
They were deemed the most important leaders of the regime for various reasons, whether it was their principal leadership like Saddam Hussein and his sons, whether it was a functional leadership like the commanders of the Republican Guard Forces Command or the weapons of mass destruction scientists. Their roles were specified on those cards, and so were their names. But knowing that their names would be much more difficult to pronounce or to identify if someone is captured on the side of the road somewhere, they were identified as playing card.
America has now detained 12 of its 55 most wanted. On the notorious deck of cards issued to soldiers in Iraq, Tariq Aziz is the 8 of spades, 43rd most wanted. So far, Chemical Ali is the highest-ranking casualty. Most of the top 10 are still free. Only number 10 has already been captured.
Well, it appears that it was successful in helping to identify individuals and immediately being able to characterize them so that everyone understood who it is that had been captured or had been detained in some cases, or had been killed in other cases like Uday and Qusay Hussein. I'm told that it's all but maybe 2 or 3 captured or that they were determined to be deceased. First, inside of this is the actual deck of cards as I had them in my pocket. So I've had them wrapped up ever since. I've never unpacked them. They're in exactly the same sequence they were when I presented them. So they're untouched inside of it. Wrapped around it is the list of the individuals on the cards, as you said, in chronological or priority sequence. But interestingly, a few years later, when I was the Chief of Army Public Affairs, I was visited one day by the creators of the cards. The 5 individuals who were very junior in grade, who took the initiative to create these cards and were in some danger as a result of that. They were in some professional danger and difficulty because they produced these cards without anyone's directive, and before the cards could be stopped, they were in my hand and now being presented to the world. I'm happy to have this signed by each one of them. I keep it on my wall as a reminder always. I may have been the face of it, but the reality is what's behind it, and it's these 5 individuals. And those additional soldiers and non-commissioned officers, active duty and reserve forces who are part of this team, are really the ones who deserve the credit for this.